You are hearing the classic Monty Python song, "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life." It is a catchy phrase, but is it possible to be too positive? Experts say yes, and there's a phrase for it: toxic positivity. It's defined as purposely avoiding, suppressing, or rejecting negative emotions or experiences and insisting on positive thinking instead. Psychiatrist Dr. Sue Varma is the author of Practical Optimism, the art, science, and practice of exceptional well-being. Dr. Varma, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh.
So we are always told to be positive and look at the glass half full. What's wrong with being positive in a lot of cases?
Yes, so there's nothing wrong with being positive, but being toxically positive is asking someone to selectively only look at the good of a situation when there is so much bad happening at the same time, and it doesn't allow the person to process it. So it's saying, forget about it, ignore it, pretend it doesn't exist, and isn't life just wonderful? Which it is, right? But a person has to come to that on their own terms through processing the grief and the loss and eventually making meaning of it. So we need all those stages.
Yeah, some people may say it's like a choose your own adventure book. I choose to be positive. I don't want to focus on the negative.
Yes.
But you compare toxic positivity to the ostrich effect,
Yes.
where you bury your head in the sand and you kind of trap yourself into this mindset that everything is okay.
Yes.
Even when those intentions are pure,
Yes.
that might not be the best thing, right?
Absolutely, because there's problem solving involved, right? So like the ostrich
makes
effect
sense.
is almost what I call extreme optimism or blind optimism, where let's say the doctor says, I need you back here for your annual visit. I'm a little concerned about some of these numbers. Let's run some tests. The person with the toxic positivity will say, Doc, you worry too much, right? Or tell the family
Everything's
members,
gonna be
everything's-
okay.
Exactly. Meanwhile, there's things that need to be found out. There are problems that need to be solved. Like, do your due diligence. I say trust
I like
and
that.
verify, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a person in your life that you feel a little sketchy about, somebody might put blinders on and say, nope, they're wonderful, everything is going to be wonderful, and it's like, no, do your homework. And the problem is that people who are extreme pessimists on the other side, they bury their head in the sand, but for different reasons, because they don't think that they can handle the negativity, right?
Gotcha.
So both extremes, people say, just forget about it, and let's pretend it doesn't
Wow,
exist,
that's
and
good.
they become passive.
Yeah, it's also, I guess, distinguishing between people who think that they're trying to do something helpful by saying, look on the bright side, or it could be worse. That's another one.
Yeah.
People say,
It could be worse,
It could be
yeah.
worse, you know, and you...
I've said that.
Right, because the reality is it can always be worse, but
Absolutely.
you're saying that the person may not have arrived yet at that
Yes.
moment where they can process that. So what should we? I feel like people sometimes say this to children, like
Yes.
when a child is expressing disappointment or anger or frustration at something, you say, hey, you know, there's worse things that could be happening.
And what do you complain about?
What do you
Life is
complain?
good.
Life is good.
Yes.
Look what
Yeah.
you.
It's first world problems.
So how do parents deal with this specifically?
No, great question, Vlad. So, you know, what we're doing in that situation is invalidating, unfortunately, by minimizing or dismissing a person's experience. So instead say, I'm so sorry. It looks like you feel really sad right now. Is there anything I can do to help? Tell me more. Ask open-ended questions. What does this feel like for you? How can I help? I totally understand. I couldn't even handle it the way you're handling it. I'm just so amazed, but I understand that this is really a hard time. We're going to get through in it together. Because what happens is people who feel like they're dismissed, they feel lonely, they feel more anxious, they feel more depressed, there's social isolation because they feel as if no one understands me, because that's really the hallmark of loneliness. Nothing to do with how many people that you have around, but is there that subjective quality that other people understand me and other people have my back? So if you were to say, I'm with you, I'm rolling up my sleeves, take as long as you need.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, let me know what you want. Do you want an ear to listen to, or do you want solutions? Because that's a really important distinction. Not everyone is ready to hear your solutions.
So I've been told. Dr. Varma, how do you know if you're someone who's toxically positive or not?
You know, people who are toxically positive, they mean well, right? But they don't have the emotional bandwidth to be a sounding board, right? Because really it's about creating space, a safe space for someone else to be heard. So it requires you to not be selfish. Look, most of us are self-absorbed most of the time, right? Not in a bad way, but we have so many things. We have checklists in our head and things that need to get done. So just give 2 minutes to the other person, look them in the eye, put your phone away, and just say, I hear you, I'm so sorry. You know, if it's appropriate, you know, a light hand, touch on the hand, and just say, what do you need? How can I help you? I'm here for you, right? So something that simple, and just be like, listen, and when you need a distraction, I'm here to be that toxically positive, but uplifting, upbeat person.
I love that.
That's good. We're all taking notes.
Yes.
Dr. Sue Varma, thank you so much.